This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're dealing with an easy repair. We're going to make sure we've unplugged this machine or turned off the breaker. This is an F3 E2 error on a Whirlpool DUET front-load washing machine. And we're just going to need to get behind the machine to do this repair. We've already unplugged it. We're taking out 14 different 1/4-inch screws on the back panel. There's a whole bunch of them. They're along the perimeter. And then there's two that are right down the middle, and we just got to get them all removed so we can pull the back panel off. It's actually pretty simple. It's just a lot of screws, so it's good to have a screw gun kind of help you out. So these are all the screws we have to remove. And the reason we're getting this error is a little wire has broken that sends a signal on the temperature sensor. The temperature sensor connects into the plastic tub here in the back, and then it sends a signal through two wires up to the brains or the computer. And oftentimes the wire gets broken, and that's just due to a really tight zip tie here on the back. So I've already disconnected the two black wires right here by clipping them off of their zip ties. I used some diagonal pliers to clip off the zip ties, and there was two of them here connected onto the plastic tub, two connectors, and then one zip tie at the bottom. And I just undid them all three, and I pulled the modular connector off so I could inspect the wires. I found that one of the wires was just had an internal break. The coating was still there, but you could tell the wire was broken. So I pulled off the modular connector here off of the temperature sensor. It just pulls right off. And I kind of followed these two black wires back, and then I found that one of them was clearly broken. Here, we'll see in a second. See, this one on the top was pinched so much by the zip tie, and as the tub would rock back and forth, it finally just broke the wire internally, and it could no longer send a signal to the computer, and that's when the computer flashes that error. So it's really easy to fix. All we have to do is patch this broken wire. We're going to cut it. We're going to strip the two ends, and we're going to put a wire connector to bridge that gap and allow the electrons to flow again. And then the sensor can talk to the computer, and the error will be gone. So we just got to take our wire cutters, our diagonal pliers, and cut the wire and then strip it. And see how bad that is. So that's just, I hadn't touched it, I just picked it up, and that's how bad the wire was broken. So very clear in this case that that's where it was. And the break occurred where the wire was connected to the plastic tub, because it probably got rocked back and forth so many times. So I cut the wire, I use my wire cutters, and I'll strip it about 1/4 inch, and I'm going to put this wire bridge or wire connector onto the wire, and then I'm going to crimp it down with my wire cutters. It has a little crimping tool, and I'm using the one color coded for blue because this is a blue wire connector. And these different colors pertain to the different gauges of wire. So I got that one, and then I'll strip the other side of that wire where the break occurred. Get about 1/4 inch of bare wire, and I'll twist the wire so it's nice and braided, and then I'll put that into the other side of the wire connector and crimp that down. Once you've done that, your repair is done. You just put it back together and it works. It's really cool, really easy to do. Won't take you long at all. The only thing that takes any time really is removing that back panel because there's so many screws. But very satisfying. I think this only really happens on these machines probably at about the 7 or 8 year mark. It's just so many vibrations rocking back and forth, it finally breaks the wire. So I'm going to put the modular connector back on to the temperature sensor. Very seldom is the temperature sensor the problem when you have that error. Very seldom. Almost always it's the broken wire. So I'm putting a little zip tie of my own through the hole in the tub and then around the wires here just to kind of hold them, but I'm going to hold them loosely. So I'm not even going to fully tighten the zip tie. I'm just tightening it and leaving about a 1-inch circumference circle of zip tie, so it's just able to move freely. Just gets it off the floor really. And that should do the trick. So we'll go ahead and just put the back panel back in position and zip all those screws in. We'll plug it back in and see if it all works. So we're way into the cycle now and no problems, no error codes, and that was it. So I hope this helps you. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance.